People say cucumbers won't grow in the desert, but the first year I tried, I had a bumper crop and I thought it was easy. Turns out it was just perfect weather. Now I know what really makes the difference: timing, the variety, and most importantly, how to keep them from turning bitter. Let me show you what actually works in a hot, dry garden. Gardening isn't always easy. If you want more help like this, like, subscribe, and stick around. I'm Angela from Growing in the Garden. My garden's in Mesa, Arizona. I want to help you succeed, even if you're gardening in tough conditions. Growing cucumbers in the heat starts with one thing: timing. Cucumbers don't love extreme heat. They can turn bitter, stop producing, or just dry up. So I plant in the warm seasons. In my low desert garden, that means February or early March, once the soil hits 60 degrees. And again in late August for a fall crop. Some years we get a long, mild spring and the plants thrive. Other years the heat comes fast and it's a struggle. Planting early gives you the best chance at success. Now, what if you want cucumbers in the summer? Armenian cucumbers are your best option. They're not true cucumbers. Technically, they're a melon, but they grow like cucumbers, taste like cucumbers, and they love the heat. They don't turn bitter. They'll keep producing all summer long, even when it's 110 degrees. They've earned a permanent spot in my summer garden. My favorite variety, Painted Serpent. When choosing traditional cucumber varieties, look for ones labeled burpless or bitter-free. They have lower levels of curcubitacin. That's the compound that causes bitterness. Some of my favorite varieties, Diva, a burpless variety that's crisp, mild, and reliable in the heat. Suyo Long, a Japanese cucumber that's slender, thin-skinned, and sweet. Japanese cucumbers in general are mild, crisp, and rarely bitter. Other common varieties like Marketmore 76 and pickling types are more likely to become bitter. You can start cucumbers from seed or use transplants. I do both depending on the season. If you're direct seeding, remember to make sure the soil is warm. 60 degrees is the minimum, but closer to 70 is ideal. Want a head start? Use transplants early in the season while the soil is still warming up. Before planting, I prep my beds with compost and worm castings. Cucumbers are hungry plants. They need fertile, well-draining soil. I grow all my cucumbers vertically, using whatever I have. The vines are easy to trellis. I've grown them on my arch trellises, tomato cages, fryer trellises, ladder mesh panels. If it can hold a vine, I use it. Vertical growing saves space, improves airflow, and keeps fruit off the ground, which means fewer pests and straighter cucumbers. Cucumbers have male and female flowers, and most rely on bees for pollination to set fruit. That's why I plant flowers nearby to attract pollinators. I've never had to hand pollinate cucumbers, but if you see female flowers turning yellow and falling off without fruit, lack of pollination might be the reason. If needed, you can hand pollinate by transferring pollen from a male to a female flower. Cucumbers need consistent moisture, especially in a hot, dry climate. Letting them dry out stresses them out and can turn them bitter. I use drip irrigation to keep the soil evenly hydrated and mulch to hold in moisture and keep the roots cool. If you're growing in containers, try adding an Oya. It helps the roots access water as needed and keeps the soil from drying out too quickly. Let's talk about pruning, something I get asked about all the time. Should you prune cucumbers like tomatoes? Not exactly. Cucumbers produce fruit on their side shoots, so I don't remove everything. But I do trim suckers that get too wild or start crowding the plant, especially near the base. Light pruning improves airflow, helps prevent issues like powdery mildew. I also remove any yellowing or damaged leaves to keep the plant healthy and productive. What about pests? I mostly deal with aphids, spider mites, and whiteflies. Aphids like new growth. Planting near cilantro or dill attracts ladybugs in early spring. They'll help with the aphids. Spider mites love hot, dry, dusty weather. I spray the leaves with water and prune for airflow. Whiteflies. I thin crowded areas and prune as needed. Once the vines start producing, I check them daily and try to harvest often. Try picking at different stages to see which size you like best. Cucumbers grow fast. They can grow from perfect to overgrown in just a couple of days. This one got away from me. It was hiding behind some vines and I didn't see it. If they start turning yellow, they're usually overripe. They can be seedy or bitter. Those are the best ones to save for seeds. If it's hot outside after harvesting, I dunk them in a bowl full of ice water and get them inside. This cools them quickly and helps them stay crisp longer. For the longest storage life, wrap cucumbers in a dry paper towel and store them in an airtight container in the fridge. Sometimes cucumbers come on all at once, and if you're harvesting a lot, you might wonder what to do with them all. Besides eating them fresh, I love adding them to salads, cucumber water, chilled dips, even tossing extras into smoothies. Quick refrigerator pickles are a great option, no canning required. If you've struggled with cucumbers, don't give up. Sometimes it's just the weather or the variety. Make adjustments and try again. Thank you so much for watching.
Warm up.
Okay.
Smiling.
Okay, yeah. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Cucurbitacin. Cucurbitacin. That's what it is. Okay.